With loops, you often need to increase or decrease the value of a variable in order to step through the loop. For instance, with this loop, we're using x equals x plus 1 to increase the value of x by 1 before it starts the next iteration of the loop. With JavaScript and many other programming languages, there's actually an increment operator that gives you a shortcut for doing this exact same thing, and it's written in two different ways. You have x plus plus and you have plus plus x. X plus plus is actually just the same thing as x equals x plus 1. However, what it's going to do is it's going to return the original value of x before it increments it. You can sort of read this as return x then increment it. And just to show you what that means and how that looks, let's just do this over in the JavaScript console. So if I was to create a variable called x, and let's set it equal to 0, if I increment it using the operator, it returns back 0. And you're like, what the heck? I thought it was supposed to go up by 1. Well, what's actually happening is that it returns the value back to us, then it increments it. So if we look at the value of x now, it's 1. So it has been incremented. It just sort of did it after the fact. Now, plus plus x is going to work the same way. It's going to increment by 1, but it's going to do it and then return the value back to us. So if we run plus plus x, it returns back 2. It's incremented it, still 2 after that. So it just sort of does it beforehand. And that's the difference between the two. Now, you might be wondering, when should you use one over the other? In many cases, it doesn't really matter which one you're going to choose when we're talking about loops. They both increment x by 1. However, the value it returns might be important depending on the program that you're writing, so it's just something to keep in mind. Another thing you might be wondering is, are there other shorthand ways of doing arithmetic? Can I increase something by 2? Can I decrease something? Can I do like quick multiplication? And in fact, there is. So I'm just going to show you a couple of different examples of that. So let's create a new variable called y, and we'll set it equal to 5. And let's say we want to subtract y by 1. We could do y equals y minus 1, and that's going to give us 4. That's going to do what we want. But we can also write y minus minus, which is the decrement operator, and it's going to do the same thing for us. So we do y minus minus. Again, this one behaves similar to plus plus. It's going to return the value back, then decrement it. So we look at the value of y. It's now 3. We could also do something like minus minus y. Again, so similar to the increment operator, the decrement operator works the same way. Now, a couple other shorthand things that you can do are multiplication and division. So let's create a new variable called z and set it equal to 10. So if we wanted to multiply 10 by, let's say, 8, we could say z times equals 8. What that's going to do is it's going to multiply the value of z by 8 and then reassign it back to z. If we do that, z is now 80. And we could also do the same thing for division. We might say divide it by, let's say, 4, and that's going to give us 20. So yeah, there are a lot of shorthand ways for doing arithmetic that they're going to come in handy as you continue to write longer and longer programs and practice using them in your loops. So instead of writing x equals x plus 1, we can do x plus plus.